Yeah, this pact was agreed by national governments and the European Parliament back in May 2024, but it's actually a response to the migration wave that was seen in 2015 when 1 million undocumented people streamed across the EU's external borders. Why did this take so long to put into place? Well, because this is an extremely contentious issue in Europe. First, over the past 10 years, they had agreed this burden sharing mechanism to help out the overwhelmed frontline countries, so Italy, Greece, Spain, who are sitting on the EU's southern external borders. The idea was that undocumented migrants waiting for asylum procedures to go through would be sent to other EU countries so that those southern countries weren't completely overwhelmed. But many EU countries balked at taking in any migrants, particularly Eastern EU countries. They did not want to take any migrants. Then they developed a compromise where those countries could pay Italy, Greece, Spain money to manage the asylum seekers kind of on the EU's behalf. But certain countries didn't like that either. Hungary, under Viktor Orban, refused to even do that, even though it was required by law because that was adopted by a majority. In the end, it just got too politically sensitive, so the Commission didn't want to actually enforce the law that was voted on. It's not clear, by the way, Peter Magyar's new position on this. Again, it is a law that they do have to follow. The question is whether there will be enough political opposition to do it. Now this is coming into effect with some trade-offs. So basically the measures at the border will be hardened and toughened, but also there will be new pan-European guarantees for the dignity of the processing of these people. So some of the measures include a mandatory registration of all irregular migrants in this new pan-EU data system called Eurodac. It will also have faster asylum processing procedures for people who are unlikely to get asylum. So in other words, if at the border agent assesses that this person's asylum claim is not likely to be approved, and they can very quickly turn that person around. It will also have measures to prevent secondary movements. That's migrants coming into one country, saying they're staying in that country, waiting the processing of their asylum claim, but then actually moving on to other EU countries, so the system kind of loses track of them. And that's really one of the big focuses of this, is registering these irregular migrants, keeping track of them, making sure they don't go out of the system, and then making sure that when their asylum claims are rejected, they are successfully expelled from the Union. Now, that may need another piece of legislation, which is being looked at right now. Then on the other side, this pact introduces new EU-wide reception center standards that's supposed to guarantee the dignity of these migrants coming in. It would also have the solidarity mechanism that I mentioned, an element of that which would include just being able to pay these countries rather than taking in migrants themselves. And then also clearer rules assigning responsibility, which country is responsible for an asylum seeker when they've come in. That up till now has been up to the Dublin rules that have been placed for many, many years. That will change how that's done. And finally, there will be independent monitoring of the fundamental rights of the migrants when they come in. So again, they're trying to strike a balance here, and that will certainly be stressed by the EU's Home Affairs Commissioner, Magnus Brunner, today when he gives a press conference at noon in Cyprus, in Nicosia. Cyprus currently holds the rotating presidency of the EU Council, where he will be, I'm sure, trying to stress that this is both a kind of a toughening of the migration measures, but also trying to ensure uniform standards for human dignity.
We'll be keeping an eye on how things go as these measures take effect. Dave, we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you so much, as always, for your updates. That's our Brussels correspondent, Dave Keating.